Good morning, and we are in chapter 14 of Ether. We're coming right to the end of this saga, I guess. Um, and Coriantumr has already been fighting Shez, I think his name is. And now we're going to go, and it seems like each person that wants to take a whack at him does, I guess. And now And now there began to be a great curse upon all the land because of the iniquity of the people, in the which, if a man should lay down his tool or his sword upon his shelf, or upon the place whither he would keep it, behold, upon the morrow he would not find it. So great was the curse upon the land. I thought a little bit about that, and I thought, I don't think we have it quite like that, but we do have people who rely on things like recently, because of an update of a search engine. I'm pretty sure you all know who I'm talking about, but it doesn't matter. Um, any search engine will do, I guess. A lot of content creators have had their income disrupted and everything like that just because they changed some of the parameters of how they do things, and these people are left scrambling trying to figure out how they're going to make money again. And it's just interesting that sometimes we get tied so much in things. If we're looking to get money, sometimes it's more slippery than we think, and especially if we're not doing it for the purposes of the Lord. And that doesn't mean that people won't be rich or anything like that. It just means that there can always be a reversal, easy enough, and we should be humble enough to understand who we rely on. Wherefore every man did cleave unto that which was his own with his hands, and would not borrow, neither would he lend. And every man kept the hilt of his sword in his right hand, in the defense of his property and his own life, and of his wives and children. And now, after the space of 2 years, and after the death of Sherod, now it doesn't say that, I can't remember if it said that Sherod died in battle, but he dies here after 2 years at least. There arose the brother of Jared, and he gave battle to Coriantumr, in the which the Coriantumr did beat him, and did pursue him into to the wilderness of Achish. And it came to pass that the brother of Sherod did give battle unto him in the wilderness of Achish. And the battle became exceedingly sore, and many thousands fell by the sword. And it came to pass that Coriantumr did lay siege to the wilderness. And the brother of Sherod, did march forth out of the wilderness by night, and slew a part of the army of Coriantumr as they were drunken. And he came forth the land of Moron, and placed himself upon the throne of Coriantumr. And it came to pass that Coriantumr dwelt with his army in the wilderness for the space of 2 years, which he did receive a great strength to his army. And the brother of Sherod, whose name was Gilead, I don't know why it took so long for them to say Gilead, I don't know, but finally he mentions him, also received great strength to his army because of secret combinations. So here he's getting power through the secret combinations, but look what happens to him because he relied on that. And it came to pass that his high priest murdered him as he sat upon his throne. Can I just intercede something that I often talk about when we're talking about secret combinations? I mention things like mob bosses and organized crime. But I still think, I really believe, that sometimes, if we're not careful, little things can become secret combinations. If we have to hide anything from our family or from our friends or whatever, if we're hiding something, maybe that is a way of secret combinations. If we um, try to keep things from someone for gain, usually, um, whether it be just because of pride or because of some other reason. Um, someone cheating on their wife or something might be hiding it. That's a secret combination, isn't it? Just the same. It doesn't have to be these big organized groups. And if we look at the media nowadays, they really do support those sort of things. In a lot of the things that they show. Not all of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everything, but if somebody cheats on someone or something like that, that's just part of storytelling nowadays, it seems, and that is what we don't want to see. And it came to pass that one of the secret combinations murdered him in the secret pass and obtained unto himself the kingdom, and his name was Lib. So now we've got the third person to go against Coriantumr. And Lib was a man of great stature, and more than any other man among all the people. And it came to pass that in the first year of Lib, Coriantumr came up unto the land of Moron, and gave battle unto Lib. And it came to pass that he fought with Lib, in the which Lib did smite upon his arm, and he was wounded. Nevertheless the army of Coriantumr did press forward upon Lib, and he fled to the borders of the seashore. And it came to pass that Coriantumr pursued him, and Lib gave battle unto him upon the seashore. And it came to pass that Lib did smite the army of Coriantumr, and they fled again into the wilderness of Achish. It's interesting that the wilderness is called the wilderness of Achish, considering who Achish was, that did so many things by basically ruined the kingdom at one time. Maybe that is where he finally met his demise or whatever. But anyway, we keep hearing that wilderness. And it came to pass that Lid did pursue him until he came to the plains of Agosh. And Coriantumr had taken all the people with him as he fled before Lib in that quarter of the land whither he fled. And when he had come up, and when he had come to the plains of Agosh, he gave battle unto Lib, and he smote him until he died. Nevertheless, the brother of Lib, did come against Coriantumr in the stead thereof, in the which Coriantumr fled again before the army of the brother of Lib. And the name of the brother of Lib was called Shiz. And it came to pass that Shiz pursued after Coriantumr, and he did overthrow many cities, and did slay both women and children, and he did burn the cities. So this guy is just destroying everything. But we're going to find out that Coriantumr uses the same sort of strategy with his, as he went forth. Why leave anybody in the city if they're going to be destroyed? And then went a fear of Shiz throughout the land, yea, a cry went forth throughout the land. Who can stand before the army of Shiz? Behold, he swipeth the earth before him. And it came to pass that the people began to flock together in armies throughout the face of the land, and they were divided, and a part of them fled to the army of Shiz, and a part of them fled to the army of Coriantumr. And so great and lasting had been the war, and so long had been the scene of bloodshed and carnage, that the whole face of land was covered with bodies of the dead. I don't know if we can even comprehend what that's like. We've had certain genocides and things in our recent history. When I say recent, I'm talking about within the last 100 years. We've had World War II, we've had the Korean War, we've had all these different wars, and we've had other civil wars that have broken out in different countries in Africa and all sorts. So we can maybe imagine what it might be like, but here it is. The people were so drunken with this hatred that they were just killing and leaving the bodies as they went by. And so swift and speedy was the war that there were none left to bury the dead, but they did march forth from the shedding of blood to the shedding of forth the shedding of blood to the shedding of blood, leaving the bodies of both men, women, and children strewed upon the face of the land, to become prey to the worms of the flesh. This is not nice reading, or not nice seeing. And the scent thereof went forth upon the face of the land, even upon all the face of the land. Wherefore the people became troubled by day and by night because of the scent thereof. I am sure that Moroni can relate because of his own experience and seeing the destruction of his own people. And where are we? Nevertheless, Shiz did not cease to pursue Coriantumr, for he had sworn to avenge himself upon Coriantumr of the blood of his brother, who had been slain. And the word of the Lord which came to Ether and Coriantumr should not fall, that Coriantumr should not fall by the sword. So there's two things here. He's sworn, this idea of swearing is coming up. Every time someone that's wicked swears to do something, they got to watch out when they're doing it against a prophet, which Coriantumr isn't, but Ether is. And look, that he knows about this prophecy, and the word of the Lord which came to Ether and Coriantumr should not fall by the sword. Oh wait, did I say that right? Let me read that one more time, because I'm sure I read this wrong 3 times. The word of the Lord which came to Ether, that Coriantumr should not fall by the sword. In other words, Shiz wanted to prove Ether wrong, and he was going to do every means to get to Coriantumr and kill him and say, see, you can be killed by the sword. Thus we see the Lord did visit them in the fullness of his wrath, and their wickedness and abominations had prepared a way for their everlasting destruction. And it came to pass that Shiz did pursue Coriantumr eastward, even to the borders of the seashore, and there he gave battle unto Shiz for the space of 3 days. And so terrible was the destruction among the armies of Shiz, that the people began to be frightened and flee before the armies of Coriantumr, and they fled to the land of Korihor, and swept off the inhabitants before them, all of them that would not join them. So you see that these armies are not leaving anybody about. They're not going to leave, take the chance of them being left to join any army. And they pitched the tents in the valley of Korihor, and Coriantumr pitched his tents in the valley of Shur, and the valley of Shur was near the hill Comner, and wherefore Coriantumr did gather his armies together upon the hill of Comner, and did sound a trumpet unto the armies of Shiz to invite them forth to battle. And it came to pass that they came forth, but were driven again, and they came a second time, and they were driven again a second time. And it came to pass that they came again the third time in the battle, and the battle became exceedingly sore. And it came to pass that Shiz smote upon Coriantumr, and he gave him many deep wounds. And Coriantumr, having lost his blood, fainted, and was carried away as though he were dead. Now the loss of men and women and children on both sides was so great that Shiz commanded his people that they should not pursue the armies of Coriantumr, wherefore they returned to their camp. And also he thinks, look, he's carried away dead. I'm sure Shiz was thinking, we've done it, we've killed the guy that can't be killed, and right now we don't know anything else until tomorrow. And so this is not a pleasant thing. We've been here before with the Nephites and Lamanites, but I hope at the same time you can see that the things of the Lord are revealed, and when prophet speaks, we listen to him. We don't try to fight against it. And we'll see more of that tomorrow, and we'll see the whole destruction of the people. Sorry, spoiler. And see what happens with Coriantumr. And I hope you have a nice day, and that your riches don't become slippery unto you, and that you just have a better day than these guys did. And we'll see you tomorrow.